to December 10th edition of Talk About It Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit today about the upcoming changes for the certification program. We brought our one member of our education and outreach department, Daniel Phillips, to tell us all about it and to provide witty commentary. So,
And I'm glad I made Adam go as the introduction since I have. Anyway, welcome guys. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Talk about some of the rule changes that we have explicitly for education and outreach coming effective January 11th, 2025. There are three main rules, and then we'll get to those. And then after that, we'll go over some of the ancillary rules. So the first is going to be initial reporting, that any new hire or leaving employee needs to be reported within 30 days of action. Previously, there was no specific time period to notify the board of the working PSTs. This created issues with accurate data for compliance and difficulties or received requests, reimbursement certification fees, before we didn't get notified that somebody had worked there. And there are other times where we get questions on why is the certification percentage this low because this person is certified, but we didn't have notification that that person even worked there. So what we're really hoping is that the reporting of new PSTs and leaving PSTs is really incorporated into the onboarding and offboarding of those people.
I also find that it's been made much easier to bring them on board and off board. That's not the right word, but that it used to be. And all of that's been in the kind of front of brain whenever they've been designing these.
The second is the compliance percentage. So all public safety telecommunicators must be compliant with the mandated rules. Previously, it was set at 60%. I think a lot of that was just because we had difficulty in reporting and knowing exactly who was there within that time frame, that period where they were allowed to not be certified. And so what we've done is clear up a lot of those issues. The statistics no longer count unless somebody is compliant and pass their what will be 180 slide. Compliance due date. So now the due date for a PST to become from hire to compliant is 180 days, and it's 180 days to complete all steps in the process. So the process is simple. Once they're hired, they complete a 40-hour PST course that is turned into us here at the board. It's reviewed and approved. And then after that is done, the reciprocity acknowledgement is completed, which we'll get to here in a little bit, is moving over to the Alabama 911 Board Central app as well. So what we've done is basically take out what used to be 180 days to report that they had been enrolled in the PST course, another 180 days to complete that course. And then we completed reciprocity acknowledgement after that. So just everything needs to be done within that 180 days of time. Which, go ahead.
Well, I was going to finish your sentence, but just for those of us that have been around or were around whenever the launch of the program occurred in January of 2023, so almost 2 years ago. Basically what this does is resets the rule to match what was actually written in the statute that passed in 2022. We are now beyond what you would call the initial rollout and implementation phase, and naturally this would be the next phase of streamlining everything and bring us also with the rule language completely in compliance. The timing of this is not coincidental. It's right on par, but it just speaks to this phase of PST compliance.
Which they all kind of work hand in hand. I know that when you submitted the new hire form that we used to do, that you had to put what course they were going to complete and put their enrollment date and a lot of other information. So if you've added new people in the app, it's much simpler. You just basically have to put their hire information, and then that timer starts for the 180 days based on the date. So it should, although the time is shorter, it should streamline processes by a lot. So those are the three main changes, but we do have some other smaller changes. One of those being that we no longer accept in-house training as a 40-hour PST course. I think this only applied to 1 or 2 agencies. PSTs that are gonna become compliant will need to become compliant by the allowed courses, and I think there's just 5 that we all have listed on our website. Another thing is that CEUs need to be uploaded to the ABC, to the Alabama Mountain Board Central. We've talked about this several times, but we receive reports from Virtual Academy for stock course completions, and what that means is if it's a course published by Virtual Academy, we receive an export each week with all of the courses that were completed, and then we upload that into the app, so that should be there. We have had some instances of duplicates, and we have our intern working to clean those up. I think she's about halfway through of all the PSAPs, but we're still seeing that some people are uploading CEU hours into external training on Virtual Academy. Exists there. If you have a process that you are following and that's what you need it to be, that's fine. But if it's uploaded to external training, that will not be reported to us any longer as of a couple of weeks ago. And it's still there in Virtual Academy if you need to export and get that information to us. But we are not receiving those exports from Virtual Academy anymore. We're just getting stock course completions. I know other people are using the certifications tab to keep track of their renewal dates. You can continue to do that. But anything uploaded to that, again, is not uploaded to us. Next, reciprocity acknowledgement has moved to the Alabama 911 Board Central. We did this kind of quietly about a week or 2 ago. There are still some openings in Virtual Academy, and if you have the ability to take a Virtual Academy, we are still getting that exported to counts as a stock course. But we've moved taking reciprocity into the app because it simplifies one of the parts of manual work that we've had to do, where after we receive the certification and we approve it, that it's one of the ones that we approve and that the dates and everything line up correctly, we have to log into Virtual Academy, into your portal, and assign that course to that individual, which has caused a bit of a bottleneck because when we get it live at one time, you plug into multiple Virtual Academy portals, it takes some time. What it's done now with the app is that as soon as we acknowledge that the certificate has been approved, reciprocity is now open through the Alabama 911 Board Central app.
I think this is a good time to pause based on some of the commentary and the questions. Talk about the app a little bit because we need to back up a little bit.
Okay, so Alabama 911 Board Central is the portal for all things Alabama 911 Board, and I can actually exit this and give you a bit of a view. It is logging in. Oh, it doesn't show my screen. So the link to log in is app.al911board.com, and that will lead you directly to the login page. Anyone who is currently employed as within, if we know about you, you're already in the app, is what I'll say. All you need to do is put in your email address and send password and login, and that will send you a login link that will automatically log you in to the app. There are some permission differences where somebody might be listed as a like a frontline PST to us, that they might be in a leadership position and they have different access to different portals. So I'm going to log in real quickly. Show you what that looks like from the leadership of a PSAP perspective. So this is what it looks like for those folks. There will be a link posted shortly that shows how to do specifically the reciprocity acknowledgement. But if you don't have access to this, if you go and your email does not send you that login link or you can't do a password reset, just email me at education@al911board.com and I can check and make sure that we have everything that we need.
But this gives you access to see everything that we have for your agency, for those of you that may not know. And this is for primary PSAPs only at this time. But if you wanted to assign reciprocity, you just go over to my PSTs. You'll see a list of all your PSTs. You can, if you have a lot, you can click the non-compliant tab to filter it by only those not listed as compliant already. And then you'll see this assign reciprocity button. Reciprocity is open for anyone that is eligible to take it. But what this does is send that same passwordless login link directly to that PST and redirects them to the reciprocity page, which looks like this. So it will direct them here and directly to the reciprocity tab where they can click begin reciprocity acknowledgement. Now I can click through this. My status is already listed as compliant, so it will not allow me to complete it. But you read and acknowledge each of the acknowledgements, and then you sign, and then you click this button to complete it, and their status is automatically updated to compliant at that point.
We do have a question about, are we not doing anything in Virtual Academy anymore? So maybe reiterate the opportunity to still get CEUs within Virtual Academy, but to introduce new people or people leaving, it should be done in this application.
Yes, so Virtual Academy is going to be our main portal for you to access CEU completion remotely. Like if you're not able to attend a class, that's still going to be the primary first place that we'll send you to complete a course or to earn some CEUs. When you do the new hire, if I'm backing up a bit, and I know this will be repeat for some folks. Say you're logged into the portal and you're adding your PST, which I will go through real quickly. You'll input all of the information that we ask for, but we'll also ask for the Virtual Academy username. And that is important because as you have to reach 12 hours of CEUs per year, some of that can come from Virtual Academy. By having the Virtual Academy username listed here, that information will automatically sync so that when we receive the export from Virtual Academy, those hours will automatically get counted towards that individual. So it's still important, and it still needs to be a part of your onboarding process to enter them in ABC and to create an ABC is shorthand for Alabama 911 Board Central again, and enter them into Virtual Academy under your portal. And then once you enter them, you'll have that Virtual Academy username listed on the Manage Users section, and you copy and paste that here. And we do have some previous Talk About It Tuesday specifically about this that we can send to anyone who needs it. If you want to just send me an email, education@al911board.com. Sorry, I'm reading this comment. My call dropped, so you've already answered. The video course is already taken. Will those move over to app? They should be there already. Any courses taken in Virtual Academy should be there already. We do have some instances where certain courses slip through the cracks somehow or another that we're working through with Virtual Academy. And we do have way more instances of things being duplicated because sometimes something would be uploaded into the external training tab, but also re-uploaded into the certifications tab. And I know those do different things in Virtual Academy, but for our purposes, they came over as two individual records that match name and date completed and CEUs completed. So you may see some duplicates, and we do have our intern working through those duplicates. But anything completed in Virtual Academy should already be in the app. I'm going to stop talking about the app there. If you have any further questions about it, you can send that email again, or we'll try to get the link to the previous Talk About It Tuesdays where we went over that in a bit more detail.
You see the other thing?
The person that enters the new person and the credentials is also. So that is dependent on how you want to handle that. So if you upload in their CEUs, if they complete it in Virtual Academy, you have to do nothing. It automatically gets moved over. But if they're completing any kind of education outside of Virtual Academy, you can upload that on their behalf through the portal by going to education or CEUs, and you can upload that there, or they can do it individually because individual PSTs can log in as well. And that's how they'll complete the reciprocity acknowledgement. But they can upload their own CEUs, and you can put that on their shoulders, or you can continue to do it. I know there's different preferences for different PSAPs. Any other questions about that specifically? For now, I'll move on. Again, feel free to email.
Sure.
The last thing on this additional changes is that we are working on creating an in-service in-house training review committee. Right now, as it is with Virtual Academy, you can do just about any kind of training for in-service in-house training and upload it. And it requires proof of who attended and a general idea of what was gone over, like kind of an agenda. So what we are creating is a review committee to go over those submissions to make sure that everything is something that should and will count for continuing education. The effective date for all of these rules is January 11th, 2025. Should be no confusion on that. We've talked about this now, about reciprocity being through the Alabama 911 Board Central, but the big thing to know is that this should go faster, and we have seen use out of it already. Many PSAP leadership have found that button that says assign reciprocity in their portal, and I've just assigned it to people that they need to take reciprocity. And it has helped a lot as far as moving quickly. And you can see the link there for the YouTube, but it's going to get posted here. Links to a YouTube instructional video on how to handle that. Specifically, one video for PSAP leadership and one for PSTs that need to complete it. You can handle it either way that you'd like. But if your PST comes back and has any kind of difficulty completing that, resharing that instruction link for the PST side should clear up any issues. It goes even into detail explaining what reciprocity is and why we complete it. I've said this 13 times now, but if you have a question, email us. That email address comes to me and Laura, and we can get anything that you need. And you should have all the email addresses at this point for everybody else at the board if you have any other questions. So now we'll transition to the next thing. We have our next telecommunicator 40-hour PST course, the IAED ETC course, being hosted by us here at the board on the week of January 13th. Registration is open now. Let me put that link in the chat. And you can register people for that now. And we are working on getting that scheduled once a month for the rest of the year so that you can kind of plan ahead more.
Also, just one item of note about the IAED course that was hosted last week. Yeah, last week in Trussville. Kudos to everybody that came and showed up and participated. It was our first one with our contract instructor, and we had 100% attendance, perfect attendance for those that signed up. Everybody showed up and completed the coursework. So thank you very much, because that's an investment on our part. I know it's an investment of time and money also on y'all's part, but thank you very much for the participation. So.
And then we're just going to chime about the Alabama 911 Board User Conference coming up in February. Registration is open. You can buy your tickets now. We've sold a bunch. We're looking forward to it. We've got super exciting stuff planned. We filled up our schedule as far as who's going to be speaking when and where. And we're going to have some great fun with both. We're going to have a casino night with a magician. And then we're going to have, what do we call the first thing?
Oh,
The welcome reception.
yeah.
And we're really excited. I am personally excited about our keynote speaker, who, not to spoil too much, but she was working at a school when a school shooter showed up and successfully, with the help of a 911 telecommunicator, talked this person into putting down the gun and walking out without anyone getting harmed. I'm super excited about that.
So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Uh.
Do they have to attend all days for the user conference?
Great question, Michelle. Do they have to attend all day, every day for the user conference?
They do not. So when you go to our website to purchase your tickets, we now have the options for day ticket, single day pass tickets, which we have sold some already. And we're excited to offer that. I know those will come on later because it'll be dependent on scheduling if you can send somebody to a 1 day thing. But we do have that open now. So anybody that you can get on the schedule to maybe attend a day or so, if you attend the entire conference, you can achieve up to 24 hours of CE use. So over double what the year requirement would be. Spending a single day, you get almost all of the days will get you a full 8 hours.
All right, guys, today,
Hold on, there's an additional.
another question.
Yeah. Birmingham is registered for the user conference. However, we were not able to get our tickets.
Can you just call us and we
Yeah.
can,
I'm
What
confused
for?
by that question. I saw that Birmingham, I think registered 8 or so, or 9, and everything was completed on it. Well, I'll say this, I think I know where the confusion might be. So you get a welcome email that tells you to log in and register and fill out some of your personal information on there. That opens 30 days before the conference opens, and that really needs to be changed on the, yeah, okay, Augie's talking about claiming the tickets. That process, it sends an email asking to do it now, but it doesn't actually open until 30 days prior to the conference beginning. And you are registered, you do have your tickets, everything is done on your side. What that gives you is some of the stuff like we did to earn points for the competition that we had, or to put in information like your LinkedIn profile and some of that stuff that you can add. And that's also when the portal opens for you to be able to RSVP for classes. But that will happen 30 days before the first day of the conference.
making sure there's no other questions about
Yeah.
that.
Give them a minute before we move on.
All right, guys, today, December 10th, is the final day to submit legacy 911 cost reimbursements for this past program year. So if your district has either an outstanding quarter or Lamisa, is that if that's you, just give us a call and we can kind of talk you through that. And if we need to figure out how to add some language to clarify that, we'll look at doing that as well. If your district has outstanding legacy cost, either one single quarter or the entire year, and you would like to participate, please gather what you have and submit the form by today. And Michelle and I will follow up with you to make sure that we can add anything else that needs to go with it as far as supporting documentation. But today is the cutoff. And we still have several, like in the 20s, I think, of districts that have not participated. Now, we do know that some of you may not have legacy costs anymore. Either you are a Brightspeed customer and that bill is now directed to us, or your other service providers have quit billing you, which is awesome. That doesn't mean they won't start back. But again, today is the final day. Please submit form and whatever you can gather. And Michelle and I will work with you over the next week or so to gather everything else that might be needed. If you have any questions, Michelle and I are the points of contact there. So just reach out to us and we'll help you through it.
Also, just a note, this is an administrative note on the legacy reimbursements or any reimbursements. Because of the way that the holidays fall at the later this month, as long as we have all the paperwork submitted and are through the approval process, I'm going to try to actually make those reimbursements, set up those ACHs not at the last business day of the month like I typically do. I think I'm gonna try to bump that up a little bit so that it's just for sure out the door this year. So that we can close out our program, it leaves the bank, all of that kind of stuff. So, I don't think anybody will complain about getting money maybe a couple days early, but just as an administrative note, it may be there before usual. Do you, I want you to, I'm not gonna say, do you want to say
Hey, you're
anything?
the boss.
I would like for you to say a little bit of something about the Brightspeed customers that we're dealing
Mhm.
with Brightspeed specifically.
Yeah.
And just, we're not quite where we had hoped we would be with Brightspeed,
Yeah.
but
So there are a handful of folks, mostly in the Wiregrass area of the state, that had some billing issues when we switched, when we engaged Brightspeed for direct billing. You continue to get bills. Most of you know who you are. We have submissions from those districts, some of them working back towards even the second quarter, that we've held on to because we anticipate that once Brightspeed gets all of this settled, there will be credits for most, if not all of that coming back to you. And we don't want to put you guys in a situation or put us in a situation where we have to get money back. So we've held those for final resolution from Brightspeed. They are working through it, but this is December and most of those telecommunications companies freeze a lot of the work that they're doing through this time period. So that likely will not be completed before the end of this calendar year. But we are still working on it and we anticipate moving those through the process whenever we get satisfactory resolution from Brightspeed and all the credits have been applied and all of those things. So if you have any questions about that, if you've submitted a reimbursement and you have a Brightspeed bill on it, that's likely why you have not received the ACH deposit in your account. But if you have questions about it or just want to talk to me about where we are in that process, shoot me an email, give me a phone call, and we can talk through it.
thank you.
That's the last slide.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions about anything we've talked to today? We're happy to go in detail, or we're happy
anything
to,
else.
yeah, anything else. Really. We do have, I feel bad because I haven't looked at our training calendar in a minute. Is there a whole lot on it currently?
There's the training today in Alabaster, and then we have this ETC course
ETC
coming
course,
up,
okay.
and I think that's it.
Okay.
Also, from University of Alabama, Jessica, although I think her name, I got just this morning 3 classes she has coming up in
Okay.
January, March and June. I think I'll get those posted later today. That mental health first aid that she
Okay.
does.
I see some of you are in the app being active this morning, so
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah,
We appreciate the updates.
We appreciate such phenomenal attendance today. We will post this once we get it processed. We'll also remember to post several of the links that we've posted in the chat along with the Talk About It Tuesday video, in addition to linking our past Talk About It Tuesday web pages for the ABC app, since that there were several questions about that. We'll make sure that all of this is in one place so you can direct back and view those. Again, education outreach is available to set up a meeting and walk through some of these things. Just shoot them an email at education@alabama911board.com or give Daniel a call.
And the 2 videos that we did post today showing the basic how-to for a simple thing like reciprocity, there is a plan to get a lot of those completed for each of the different steps you have to complete within ABC. So that when these questions pop up, there's like a knowledge base a little bit to look at and get answers for.
All right.
Adam's hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but
All right,
Michelle and I did. I'm sorry. That was funny.
if nobody else has any questions, I'm gonna go get a snack and we'll be here if y'all need anything.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.